Welcome to the 55th annual Winslow Award dinner. We appreciate your attendance, everybody making the time and the effort. This is now our second year of altering the format of the Winslow Award. We decided to bifurcate the golf from the dinner event. I think it's worked out well last year, and it worked out well this year as well. I think the attendance will prove that. We had a nice golf outing. We had a good attendance at that event, and this room will fill up here in a minute, but we have most people here, so I think it's worked out well, and your attendance here is evidence of that, so thanks again. Some folks in the room do look a little tired, though. I don't know why that would be. I know I went to bed early last night, didn't look at any news. I don't know what happened. Is there a reason why everybody's tired? Obviously, politically speaking, it was quite a night. You know, Trump looking to expand his. Oh, there we go again. It's hard enough to do this without your mic cutting out, right? Can you throw any more challenges at me? Someone to run at me or something to make this a little more challenging? So Trump's looking to expand his base, right? And he did that, right? Everybody analyzed. He got, the minority vote. He got the woman suburban vote. So he also picked up a demographic that I didn't think about. I went into my 7-year-old's room this morning to try to wake him up, get to school, the usual fight. His first question to me is, Dad, who won last night? And I said, Trump won last night. He goes, that's great. He goes, is Trump going to make my grade school great again? I said, yes, he is, my friend. His next question was, when can we order the Trump watch? He was all over that. But how about these political ads, right? I mean, who is not sick of these things? It was hard to even watch TV, no matter what side of the aisle you're on, just inundated with these political ads. I did hear that it seemed that all the money spent on the campaigns, you could have paid everybody in the United States $100, which was $900 less than migrants are getting paid a month. So I figured maybe that was a good deal. Not a good one? Maybe not. That maybe was up against the line. All right, let's save a couple for later, right? Let's acknowledge a few people. I'm going to do a few things from a housekeeping perspective, and then we're going to get to dinner. We're going to get out of here at 8 o'clock. I promised you that last year, and I hit it, and I'm going to promise you again that this year. So we have some media here. I saw my man Kevin Tomedy back there behind the camera. It's always nice that the local TV covers this, so you can watch this and see my bad jokes again, taped if you like later on, but we can watch that on Armstrong cable. Keith Gushert's here from the Meadville Tribune. Not sure if there's any TV stations here or not.
They're interviewing Bonnie.
They're interviewing Bonnie, all right. Yeah. So they are back there. Okay. Well, thank you for attending here. We'll get to you. I'll get specifics on that later and let you know. We do have Senator Michelle Brooks here to my left. Thank you for attending. We have Representative Brad Rowe as well. Where's Brad? So Brad, how many? You won last night. How many terms now?
This will be the 10th term.
Okay. The questions are a bit easier, Brad. But thank you. So Brad actually won without any celebrity endorsements. How about that? No Beyonce, right? No Jay-Z, nothing. He won. I heard he did bring out the Amish vote pretty good. He brought out the woodworking vote, right? Nicely done. All right. We also have, we'll mention some folks later as far as the EPAC, but I do want to mention our sponsors, and then we're going to cut the dinner and we'll catch you on the backside. The dinner sponsors, Pasco Tool and Die. Jeff's here. We appreciate the efforts of them. The cocktail hour sponsors was by Channellock. I see Ryan here, and by Moody's and Associates. I see Mark Miller here. I appreciate both of their efforts for the institution, the EPAC institution, which I'll talk about after dinner, and also for sponsoring this event. Master sponsors, I'm going to run through those. Accutech Precision Aerospace, Kuhn Tool and Die, Northwest Bank, Vitro Architectural Glass, and Westbury United Methodist Community. So I appreciate all of and we appreciate all of their sponsorships, and we appreciate you being here, most importantly. All right, with this, what we're going to do is we're going to have Ken Kuhn come up, and he's going to give our invocation, and then we're going to cut to dinner, and we'll come back, and I'll catch you on the backside. Ken.
Thanks, John. First of all, I'd like to recognize a past recipient of this award that has passed through this year. If you join me in a moment of silence, recognition of Bill Douglas. Now, if you join me in giving thanks, we bow our heads. Heavenly Father, we gather here tonight with gratitude for the many blessings that have been bestowed upon us. We thank you for the gift of wisdom, the opportunity to grow and prosper, and the chance to create a positive impact in our community and beyond. Lord, we thank you for the hard work and accomplishments of the individuals who have been and will be honored with this award. May this evening be a time to honor their contributions and to inspire each of us to continue striving for ways to give back and to improve our communities. Guide our hearts and our minds as we reflect on the value of dedication, resilience, and service. May we use the gifts and talents you have given us to be strong and build strong communities that reflect your justice and mercy. We ask your blessing on this gathering, our meals, and all those present. Please guide us so that we may leave here with a renewed commitment to do your work in all that we do. In your name we pray. Amen.
We're going to do a couple things here. First, we're going to acknowledge our past Winslow Award winners. I'm going to name everybody that I think is here, and I hope I hit everybody, and then we'll give them a round of applause. And some of them have been around a while, so I won't ask them to stand. We'll just kind of give a wave here. Charlie Anderson, which I saw him earlier, Dick Burkhart, Clark Hoffman, Elizabeth Smith, and companies who have received the award. Allegheny College, I see Allegheny's president Ron's here, and also Andy Walker, Channellock. I see Ryan here, Meadville Medical Center. Obviously Don's here, Northwestern REC. Not sure who's here from Northwestern REC. Okay, Kathy, are you okay? And in Westbury United Methodist Community, I see Larry and Brian here. So round of applause for all those folks, prior Winslow Award winners. Thank you for attending. We appreciate it. So the Economic Progress Alliance of Crawford County is actually the organization that puts this event on, and people maybe don't realize what this organization does or their role in the community. And it's interesting that they actually are the largest, the largest property tax holder, largest real estate taxpayer in Crawford County. This organization has taken on the obligation and the responsibility, maybe the honor even, of putting on this event and also putting on the golf event. And it's impressive in that that's not their core responsibilities, that's not their core mission, but yet their commitment to the community, both through their payment of taxes and through their a long-time hosting of this event, it's emblematic of what these folks do. And I'm going to name the staff who are here tonight and who work tirelessly both on this event and with all their other core projects, which I'm going to mention later. We have, and I'll mention them all, and then we'll give them all a little love here. Jim Becker, who is the executive director to my left. Angela Annabelle, who's a deputy executive director. We have Michelle Anderson, Carolyn Harned, Jennifer Miner, Sarah Fate, and Dusty Matheny. Give them all a round of applause, please. I'm going to give a little plug as to what EPAC does and has done this past year. They manage 47 tenants at 5 multi-tenant industrial parks throughout Crawford County. Have conducted 70 business visits during the past calendar year. They were involved in securing financing for the SECO vacuum major expansion project at the Crawford Business Park, and that project was a $4.6 million project. They were also instrumental in SECO Warwick reestablishing its U.S. headquarters here in Meadville. I see Paul Huber here tonight. I'm sure he's happy about that fact. CJ Plastics, major expansion, $7 million project. The EPAC was instrumental in obtaining and assisting them in obtaining some financing for that project. Vitro, major expansion down there, used to be the old PPG glass plant, $100 million plus project. It's a lot of money for that project here in Crawford County. Vernon Place, which you'll hear a little bit more from our speaker tonight about. EPAC was in the background helping get an RCAP $1.5 million financing to assist that overall project, assisting Allegheny College with their ALIC facility at the Bessemer plant, which if you go down Bessemer Street now, you can see signage now and you can see some activity. It's really, for those who have lived through that facility, to now have it in Allegheny's hands and having Allegheny, which we heard from Ron Cole last year, explain kind of the projects that were intended for that facility, and now to see that come to fruition, I think it's gratifying to all who were involved. A lot of hard work there, and I think Allegheny's bearing the fruits of that, and that's great for the entire community. Also, the Alliance was awarded a EPA grant of $1 million for environmental solution at Bessemer. We could have Mark Miller up here. He could spend the next 3 hours talking about the history of the facility at Bessemer Street and our love relationship with DEP, right, Jim? You can talk about that. Yeah, we'll probably pass on that, right? Something hot off the press, as some of you hopefully have enjoyed, is a new Bessemer Trail. If you haven't been there, go there. It come down Bessemer Street. There's new Bessemer Trail, which was a great investment and a great addition to our community. It goes along French Creek. The Alliance has just received I appreciate Senator Brooks being here, since she was instrumental in enabling the receipt of a $500,000 grant to extend that trail, which will be extended down to the Crawford Square project that most of you know Rob Smith is working on, and also all the way down to the Crawford Business Park. That total project is going to be about $2 million. $500,000 kind of seed money to get the project started, just in the embryonic stages of that project, but you'll hear more about that as we go. But we thank Senator Brooks for being instrumental in that, even though she decided that our table wasn't good enough for her. And so she relocated. May have been the jokes I said earlier, I don't know. But we're still happy to have you, Senator Brooks, and I won't pick on you anymore. Oh, what else am I missing? I don't think I'm missing anything. All right, we're going to bring up our featured speaker tonight, a good friend of mine, Don Rhoten. Don is a certified fundraising executive. How about that? A certified fundraising executive. That's impressive. Didn't know it was out there. Didn't know it was such a thing. But I know Don is an expert at it. He has a master's degree in strategic funding and philanthropy. He has over 20 years in fundraising experience and joined the Meadville Medical Center in 2011 as the foundation's president. Since then, he has added the title of Vice President for Consumer Engagement. I love that title, man. That's good. I like it. And he is administratively responsible for public relations, marketing, transportation, WIC, emergency management, and security. So perhaps our tallest speaker we've ever had. We're honored to have Don Rhoten come and tell us what's happened at Meadville Medical Center. I'm wondering if we should use this baby over here so it doesn't cut out. Man, let's try this one, okay? Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Well, I thought the table was flat, so there goes my water. Normally when I'm speaking to a group, healthcare is a topic where you're kind of nervous, like are people going to fall asleep on me? Is the speaker before me going to be stellar? Thank God John's jokes really set a low standard, so I'm feeling better about how this is going to go. That was until he came back up and used the word embryonic, which I don't know what that means, so now I'm nervous again. But thank you for having me here. As John mentioned, I work at the hospital, been fortunate enough to be there for 13 years. Obviously a background in fundraising. Don't worry, I'm not here to talk about that or to ask you for any money. Instead, I'm here to talk about, you've probably heard some of the projects that we're working on, some of the exciting news that we have coming, Sharon Regional, a lot of stuff going on. So I'm going to cover that. I was given a strict 10-minute warning, so I'm going to really heed to that warning. But we're going to start in Vernon Place. So as you've seen, We acquired that property years ago, and I can't tell you the date because I don't know it. We have TJ Maxx there, and I say we sold the property. So TJ Maxx is there, Five Below. I don't think the third one is rented yet, no. Chipotle opens Friday, I just found out. Kids are happy in the area. I don't know if this has been formally announced, but a second Starbucks will be coming. We went from no coffee shops, or your Tim Hortons option, to every coffee shop. So another Starbucks will be coming, and the rumor that's been going around for a while of a steakhouse will be coming. So a lot of cool stuff happening out there. A lot of that has been made possible through RACP funding. Senator Brooks has been instrumental in that. So really cool. We'll be adding a walking trail in the back as well. Very exciting stuff. So Vernon Place and the Oncology Center, a lot of really great stuff happening out there. You've probably heard as well, we have schools. 13 years ago when I arrived, if you would have said that we'd be in the academic realm, that would have been a comical notion. However, we acquired took over the LPN program that was formerly at the Crawford County Career and Technical Center. Our first school started September 30th, and we hope to graduate 10 students. So very excited about that. And as of Monday, last week, we were finally accredited to open an RN school. So really exciting. Yeah, so we have 2 nursing schools. Over the last decade plus, nursing has been a particular career field that has been highly in demand, not only for Meadville Medical Center, but really any healthcare institution. So us opening these schools is not only going to help us as a hospital, but it's going to help every other healthcare provider in the area. So we're really excited about that. The current school is brought over from Sharon. Again, a lot of praise goes to Senator Brooks for her work on that. That was brought up. The current students are the students who enrolled while they were at Sharon, but next semester or next year will be our first school. So we're excited about that project. That's an opportunity for people in this room, perhaps, is that we are looking for a permanent location for those schools. So we look to work with academic institutions locally, Allegheny College, some other locations, and really try and find a permanent home that meets the needs for all the students, and so we can produce not only high quality students, but instruct them in an area that's fitting for them. So we're really excited about that. Physician practices in Sharon. You may have heard about this as well. So let's start on Sharon Regional. Has anybody heard about Meadville Medical Center and the potential of us acquiring Sharon Regional?
Yep.
So it's true, right? We have not acquired them. In the spring, the bankruptcy was obviously announced for Steward, and I'm not going to get into details on Steward, how they operated, some of their practices. That's for somebody else to talk about. However, due to those practices, they have closed down numerous hospitals in the area, but mainly nationwide. The process to all this is highly complex. So Steward is based out of Texas. There's a bankruptcy court out of Texas. We have Sharon Regional here. We have attorneys for every institution. We have a separate owner of the facilities. They're not located locally either. We have the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania involved, trying to ensure the hospital does not close. Every party has attorneys. It is perhaps the most complex issue that we've ever been a part of, because you can't negotiate 1-to-1. You can't negotiate 1-to-2. It's quite ridiculous, to be honest. However, so before I get into physician practices, I'll stay along this line. It was in the spring when there was bids offered. Any hospital that was put on the blocks, another entity, whatever it may be, for-profit, non-profit, could submit a letter of intent or a bid. Flat out. You could offer $1. You may actually acquire a hospital for $1. You could say $10 million, whatever it may be. We initially submitted a letter of intent. So the letter of intent was very specific. It said 3 primary things. I won't get into the other details because it's really not pertinent to this, but it said we would not spend money, point blank. So we're not going to offer you any money. Second, we have to own all the assets, period. To operate a hospital without the assets it's impossible. I mean, you're spending millions and millions of dollars depending on the size of the operation, the cost. You're constantly buying new equipment, the facility upkeep, and for you not to own that is nuts, and for you not to be able to depreciate those assets, you can't operate like that. So ownership of the assets. And we needed $30 million, approximately. We submitted the letter of intent and heard nothing back. Because quite frankly, if you got a letter that said we want everything for free and we need money, it was not really, there wasn't much interest, I guess you could say. As time goes on, nobody wants to buy these hospitals from Stewart because they have not been upkept, they've not been staffed appropriately, they don't have supplies, facilities are outdated, it's a mess. Fast forward 2 or 3 months maybe. Again, Senator Brooks, I'm going to repeat her name often, I apologize for all the attention, but she and the Commonwealth come and say, this hospital is going to close and it's imminent. Please consider getting back involved, to which we said here that we'll submit the letter of intent again. Nothing would change, but we'll submit it again. Unbelievably, now there is interest. I think once nobody wants to buy anything, nobody wants to give them money, they need to offload these. The bankruptcy court says you can't continue to spend money, you can't continue to own assets, you need to get rid of it. So we've come to a point now down the road where we've had local entities who are investing money into this possibility. We've acquired enough, not us, but there's a party who has enough of the funds consolidated through various agencies, entities, whatever you may, that have hit the threshold that we need. We've done a lengthy due diligence process to understand what the issues are, how outdated the facilities are, cash flow situations, all of that you need to do. And we're at a point now where we need the assets. They're owned by a separate entity, not Stewart. That's where the big issue is. If we can get the assets, we offered $1. They didn't bite, believe it or not. If we can get those assets, this deal will likely go through, and we will acquire Sharon Regional. Getting those assets is an uphill climb. The good thing that we have on our side is when the acquisition or when the transfer occurred from Stewart to the owner, I would imagine the current owner had a long-term vision where they would just make money on leasing these facilities. If nobody acquires the facilities, nobody's going to lease them. They're now going to own hundreds of millions of dollars of assets across the country that they need to offload. So while it may be a $30 or $40 million asset, they're not going to be looking for that much money. So the negotiating power on that end is very strong. Are we guaranteed to seal the deal? I don't know. I hope so. The initial date that was offered from the bankruptcy court of December 1st for a deadline, that's very unlikely considering it's November 6th. If that would happen, that would be a miracle. But hopefully it does. We'll still be involved. We still commit to this transaction. The terms won't change. So let me get into a little bit of why it's so important. So Meadville Medical Center now sees 700,000 patient encounters. I hit it too hard. Easy. Big guy, hit hard. So on an annual basis, NMC has 700,000 patient encounters. A few years ago, we were half that size. Our budget has doubled up to $300 million over the last, I want to say 10 years, but I don't know if it's even been that long. Our market is no longer just Crawford County, and where we used to be an inpatient-based hospital, that's no longer the case. The vast majority of our revenue, around 80%, is realized in outpatient services. So our market has expanded significantly in the outpatient side. Mercer County now is a part of our market. It's a secondary part of our market, but it is still a part of our market. If we can acquire Sharon Regional to the south, we have a friendly relationship to the north, it's a strategic move for us to preserve our mission locally for Crawford County. The major part that we are going to make sure, if we get the assets, so if we get the facilities, the way this new entity will be structured, Meadville Medical Center will not be at risk. So they could not come for us if we don't meet our liabilities, if we don't meet our terms with the loan or whatever it may be, however that money ends up transpiring, we are not at risk. That also goes back to why we need the facilities. I don't know many agencies or financial institutions that are willing to allow an entity to cash flow $30 million without some sort of underwriting to go along with it. So NMC will not be at risk if we acquire Sharon. So we would gain market share even further. We'd be able to utilize a lot of our services. That's the only ICU in Mercer County. That's the only primary inpatient location in Mercer County. If that were to close and no other entity is interested in opening up anything down there, it would seriously impact our operations here. So if we don't get involved, I don't want to say the C word, but if we had another issue where there was an influx of patients due to a pandemic, we would not be able to manage that like we were able to a few years ago. So preserving those services there expands our market, but also allows us, it's a strategic move to kind of stave off any of the other big agencies, big health systems who would want to encroach on us and perhaps sort of take away from what we do. So we believe that's incredibly important. And there's cost sharing benefits. So a lot of my time, our administrators' time, we would cross-use our billing. We would use a lot of the services that they don't have here, and we could charge them to Sharon. So we would lower our cost and help keep us a low cost provider. So a lot of good options there. The physician practices. So along the way, Stewart decides to sell off. So I don't know if everybody's aware, a lot of our private practices we own separately from the hospital. So it's a separate organization, separate subsidiary. If, hypothetically, I've never even thought about it, we could sell that. Stewart sold that. So they sold their private practices and forgot to kind of tell anybody until 2 weeks ago. So the timeline came really quick. We've been working to try and reach a deal. There's 10 providers, and we think that we're very close to come to terms almost, but again, that agreement has to go through underwriting, has to go through the bankruptcy court in Texas, so we'll see, but we feel good that we should be able to get that done. So a lot of things happening in Stewart or in Sharon. Yeah, we're really excited about it. We think we're gonna be able to do it. Just a couple other things. We've expanded our WIC program into 6 counties. We're actually right across the street from Sharon Regional, so we're excited about that. Pharmacy. We keep expanding our pharmacy. We own Mill Run. We deliver within 15 miles. So if you get your prescription through Mill Run, we can deliver it to your house. OBGYN, you've heard about this a lot. We are working tirelessly to preserve local care for obstetrics, gynecology. So that's going well. Our ENT and audiology is just on the Vernon place. We're putting one down in Mercer now. And physician recruiting is always, always a challenge and always a focus of ours. So try to cover a lot quickly. I hit my 10-minute mark. I'll be around afterwards if you have any questions, but again, I really appreciate everything. Our support from the community is how we're able to stay independent, how we're able to expand, how we're able to continue providing care. Each person in this room, you telling others, you supporting us, makes us so important, and we can't thank you enough. So thank you all.
Thanks, Don. Great job. Really interesting, right? Interesting stuff from the perspective of there is only, and Don will correct me if I'm wrong, 2 counties in Pennsylvania that are not affiliated with either Highmark or UPMC that have independent hospitals, and we are one of them. That has its good points and its bad points, but as you can see, it's exciting that we are all kind of involved collectively at some level or another of MMC's success and of their story, which is fascinating, which is really interesting. So thanks, Don, for that information, and stay tuned, right? So before I go to and bring up our award winner and announce the award winner, just a shout out to our GMAC committee. You can see the committee members. That's really irrelevant. The person that runs it is Bonnie Kuhn over here to my right. I'd ask for a round of applause to Bonnie. She's been doing this for, I'm not going to say how many years, Bonnie, but for a number of years. And we all just comply, right, Jeff? We comply. Tim and Jeff are over here on the left, and myself, in fact, we had one meeting, Bonnie wasn't there, and we were all like, I don't know what we're doing here. We were kind of lost a little bit, so she's definitely our leader. All right, we're gonna segue into the award here, the Winslow Award. So let me read this. This is great notes here, but somebody put them together, and they did a great job in putting them together. So the Winslow Award was first presented in 1969 to Dr. Harry Charles Winslow in recognition of his 85th birthday, and has been named in his honor. If you want to know more about Harry Winslow, talk to Dick Burkhart. He was there, his buddies with him, so he can tell you all about it. Dr. Winslow is a local physician, businessman, and community activist who was instrumental in the organization of many local businesses and charitable organizations. His service to the community and economic development sets a standard to which all Winslow Award winners are compared, and this year's recipient is no exception. The Winslow Award honors the group, individual, business, or industry that has made a significant contribution to the economic growth of the greater Meadville area. This year's recipient operated a family-owned business that was at the heart of our community for over 80 years, marking a significant commitment to their industry and to our region. After exiting the business in 2018, the family established a charitable foundation aimed at supporting local economic growth and giving back to the community that supported them for more than 8 decades. This family and their foundation are truly invested in the Crawford County community for the long term, with part of the mission focusing on helping to make Crawford County a better place to live, work, play, and grow. Since its foundation in 2018, their foundation has donated more than $3 million locally to our community, with contributions touching nearly every corner of residents' lives, from fostering economic development to ensuring that our environment, our pets, and our people are well cared for and supported. A little hint there, right? From their work benefiting the creative arts and conserving natural environments for future generations, to assisting marginalized populations and the mental health of women and children, they've set a standard for deeply investing in the well-being of our people. However, it is their remarkable commitment to our local schools and economic progress that we are here tonight to celebrate. A few years ago, the Foundation Board recognized that some of the best compensated careers in our county are precision tool makers. Right, Joe? As our area is rich in many small and medium-sized tool shops owned by families in our community. But an unfortunately common theme among these local firms was that their ability to grow was limited by their ability to hire and maintain a highly skilled workforce. We've heard that time and time again, right? Meanwhile, through our county's Career and Technical Center, had implemented a 3-year program to provide the basic precision machining skills needed by the majority of our tool shops. The school lacked a student base to train. Enrollment numbers in their precision machining track were the lowest they had seen in decades. So, the foundation set a strategy to foster a strong training to job market pipeline in Crawford County by enhancing precision machining graduates at the technical school. It was determined early on that this multi-year project cannot be solely focused on the precision machining program. It also needed to boost the existing reputation and vision of the current school. With this in mind, the foundation funded and assembled a marketing team that developed a new logo, website, and name for the school, Crawford Tech. Following these rebranding efforts, the foundation developed a plan to encourage families of 8th and 9th graders to consider preparing for a career by attending Crawford Tech. They targeted the parents of students, teachers, counselors, and employers in Crawford County and the community at large. The plan was designed to recruit new students for the following year's classes, heavily weighted in favor of precision machining, but also Crawford Tech's overall program. Over the last 4 years, the foundation has contributed nearly $1 million with an M, to help advance Crawford Tech's rebranding, awareness, and recruitment via online and offline and in-person programs. Heading into 2025, the foundation is committed to supporting local machining efforts and continues to help forge connections among employers, trade associations, higher education groups, and Crawford Tech in order to drive workforce training and retention in our region. This initiative highlights a unique dedication to economic development and community sustainability, an inspiring example of purposeful reinvestment. Even more exciting, with only 6 years under the foundation's belt, this group is just getting started. We are inspired to see what the next 80 years holds, as this group will surely continue to positively impact our community through the legacy of generosity and service. Please join me in congratulating our 2024 Winslow Award recipient, the Ainsworth Foundation, and accepting on their behalf is Tony Lang. Congratulations. Make sure you thank your wife, buddy.
I will. All right, I'll start by thanking Ashley. Thanks, John. That was a good one. And then I'm going to thank Bob next for not telling me I was going to do this, but that was a nice one, Bob. Thanks. So I will say, I wish there were more Langs that were able to be here. Most of them are, it's too cold now, although it's been really nice, but they're mostly in Florida this time of year. So, but this means a lot to our whole family. I'm really glad my mom and brother are up here enjoying this with us as well. When we exited the business, we had a choice of whether to stay here or whether to potentially, we'd have gone wherever we wanted. And we chose to stay here, and in large part that's due to the people in this room right now. And so we just want to continue to help grow this community. It was a great place to grow up. I think it's a great place to continue to raise kids. And I think that there are things that we can do that continue to make it even better and better. And so I won't miss this opportunity because my Uncle Tommy, who some of you know, if he was standing up here and do this, he would probably go a different route than me a little bit. But I do think that one thing he would say is that what we're doing, we're really proud of what we're doing. And we would challenge everybody in this room to come to us with other ideas for things that we can do. I think that what we've done with Crawford Tech, we're really proud of it. I think it's really making inroads. We're really happy about what we're doing. But there are other opportunities I know in this area, and I know we've met with a lot of foundation leaders, but don't hesitate to reach out to us. And so if you have a great idea for how we can continue to build this great community, reach out to Bob. All right? All right. Thank you all so much. We are so honored for this. And who am I giving it to?
I'm telling John
I actually
that
have
he
to give you
needs
the
to
award.
give
I
you
forget
Oh.
this every year.
I thought it was just a handshake.
That should have been enough.
That.
He needs me.
Okay. Oh, that
All
is
right, let's see.
amazing.
Yeah, there we go.
Perfect.
And no one's taking a picture.
Well, thank you guys so much. Thanks, John.
John, hold on, wait.
All right, let's go over here. Susan.
Yeah, there we go. Okay,
All right.
thank you.
All right, Senator Brooks, did you want to come up with the?
I did.
you wanna do that?
You guys are glowing with that light over.
It might just be sweat. It's hot in here, but.
She's trying to make up for leaving our table. You see that? All right, thanks, Tony.
There you go.
Great. What you want to get from this? All right, Tony, you come on back up. Senator Brooks has something for you.
I was so happy to hear the comments about Meadville Medical, and it was with such deepest gratitude that I say thank you, and Mercer Countyans say thank you to Meadville Medical, and trying to rescue this hospital, and being a good neighbor. You know, that hospital has 60 beds, 9 operating rooms, an emergency department, and some of the only adolescent behavioral health beds in the area. So not only would I like to thank Meadville Medical, but I would like to thank all of Crawford County and Crawford Countyans for supporting this effort. Because I think you played an important part in showing Meadville Medical that it was okay to do this. And so I just say thank you to all of you. And I look at this room, and as we talk about Meadville being a community hospital, I look at all of you, and you truly are community. And with Ainsworth, they just emulate what is amazing about Meadville and Crawford County and why it's such an amazing place to live. And he said some important words. They chose to stay here. They didn't have to stay here. They chose to stay here. And so for that, I'm also deeply appreciative. And so with that, I would like to present you with a Senate citation in saying thank you, not only from the 50th District, but the Senate of Pennsylvania, for also continuing to invest in Pennsylvania. God bless, and thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Amazing. All right.
You get to keep that.
I do. Oh my gosh.
Isn't it amazing that a company that started 5 generations ago with a guy selling dog food out of the back of his truck has evolved into what Dad/Ainsworth has become? And now it really is. I think Senator Brooks said it well. You know that the family has chosen to keep their ties. And I know during the latter part of when they still had the business, they had many opportunities to relocate the headquarters of the business outside of Crawford County and chose not to, and that's impressive. Although they do go south in the winter, right? So we're wrapping it up here. What time we got? I think we're still under the gun here, right? We're good. We could all, if this thing ever works, we can all. We have to do our usual. There's one person in this room that has attended all 55 Winslow Award events, and that is Mr. Dick Burkhart. A round of applause for Mr. Burkhart. He's right here. I love. No, I think I'm completely out here. Let's try that. That's great, Dick. Okay. We want to thank the Iroquois Club tonight for on all our staff. I thought the dinner was great, and we appreciate the staff serving the drinks in advance, so thank you to them. What else do we got? Thank you to Carniat Cellars and Stefanelli's. You have wine on your table, take it home with you. Drink it tonight if you like, have fun, do something stupid. Then have some Stefanelli's candy afterwards. Well, once again, we appreciate your attendance tonight. Tell your friends and family. Next year we'll do the golf outing and we'll come here and we'll enjoy ourselves for this event. Have a safe trip home. Thanks again for coming and we'll see you next year.